anxiety at this time. This is to be understood. We have experienced a number of challenges that have imposed enormous burdens on our people. That is why we are taking various actions to support businesses in distress, assist workers whose jobs are threatened, and provide funding to small businesses. We are providing shelter to people who are homeless. We are continuing to deliver water to areas that do not have water so that our people can maintain high levels of hygiene. We are particularly concerned about the impact of the lockdown on the self-employed and on informal businesses. We are urgently developing additional measures to provide relief to them during this very difficult period. We know that there are many South Africans who are currently abroad and home. We are paying attention to this and will be giving assistance where possible within our constrained resources. My fellow South Africans, we are now entering a new phase in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic. In the coming days, government will be rolling out a screening, testing, tracing, and medical management program on a huge scale. Around 10,000 field workers at the moment will be visiting homes in villages, in towns and cities to screen residents for the coronavirus symptoms. People with symptoms will be referred to local clinics or mobile clinics for testing. People who are infected with the coronavirus but who have no or moderate symptoms will remain in isolation at home or at a facility provided by government, and those with severe symptoms will be transferred to hospitals. Using mobile technology, an extensive tracing system will be rapidly deployed to trace those who is happening at a time when our economy is under great strain. As the country went into lockdown, we received the sad news that the rating agency Moody's had downgraded South Africa to a sub-investment grade. This will significantly increase the cost of borrowing to fund government spending and will have a negative impact on the economy. Coronavirus pandemic. We are pushing ahead to implement the necessary health interventions and economic and social measures to contain the spread of the disease and alleviate its effects on our people. Within the constraints of the current crisis, we remain committed to implementing structural economic reforms to address weak economic growth, constrained public finances, and struggling state-owned enterprises. We're working together with our social partners to identify further measures we can take to limit the damage on our economy and to ensure that as we emerge from this pandemic, we set our economy on a clear path of growth. Even as our country faces deep and pressing challenges on several fronts, there is no doubt in my mind that we will prevail. This is because South Africans have come together like never before.
Ongoing live address there by the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. Already we can pick up some things that we can talk about that are in line with what the President of Loveworld Incorporated was talking about. The whole tracers and vaccinations. Yeah. Denmark has already rolled out its whole vaccination chip. It has signed. Yeah. It has actually signed that this will come into law for everybody else who is in Denmark. So now you can see that because they don't know what else to do, they begin to go for these desperate measures.
But in this case,
these desperate measures are actually they are a testament of exactly what we're preparing for, because the president is positing an ideal solution to this current situation, where he's saying we're going to be monitoring with surveillance, obviously, using cell phones and obviously
traces.
But then, yeah, exactly, traces. So it's something that is noble if you're to look at it, but we know exactly where it is moving towards, where we are looking at just monitoring people and their movements. It's surveillance, and it's surveillance, nothing else.
Interestingly, you are looking at surveillance that is actually being rolled out under a cover. If you look at this, you have South Africa that is saying they are using cell phone triangulation. I think that's the technique that was referring to, say we can actually geographically map up to say, who did you meet, where are you? And then you have an Israel that is also doing the same thing. But it's not about this, actually. You are looking at the deep state, which is actually agitating for a different kind of world. And in this case, I think